Well, hello, my beautiful Leo. Welcome to my channel. This is Baba Jolie here with a little bonus reading all about you. I've already cleansed your space and I've meditated on your cards. For those of you who are returning, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for all your wonderful likes, shares, and subscribes. I am truly grateful for all your beautiful energy. Just a little reminder though, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one reading, just so you're aware. Also, please be mindful, scammers are about, pretending to be me and lots of other tarot readers. I do not do personal readings and I will never reach out to you personally to offer one. Also, I will never ask you for money, e-gifts, or donations. So if anyone masquerading as me asks for anything at all, please report them or ignore them. It is a scam, okay? Let's move straight on with your reading. Now, I will be using guide chimes, so please be mindful to turn down your volume if you are someone who is sensitive to sound. Oh, also, I've just brought back the competition for one subscriber to win a free personal reading from me, but I'll let you know how to win that a little bit later on because some people are here just for the reading and I don't like to waste anyone's time. So with that in mind, let's get straight to your reading and let us begin. Okay, my beautiful Leo, this is a little bonus reading all about you. Us tarot readers, we tend to focus on career, money, love, but we never ask how are you doing. So this reading is going to tap into what you're moving through at this moment in time and of course what lies on the other side. Now, this reading tends to be very specific, so it may not resonate with all of you. Take what works for you and of course leave what doesn't. Never try to make anything fit, okay, if it doesn't. So let's get straight to it. I'm using one deck for simplicity and I'm going to do a Celtic cross just to see what is going on there with you. But I definitely see here, especially in the energy that came out with the guide chimes, that you are moving through life focused on your tasks, responsibilities, but doing a lot of soul searching and wondering what is the meaning of it all. Okay, that's what came out there, but let's see what is going on with you specifically. We've got the Lovers card there, so this can indicate that you are in a period of choice, looking at your options. What's crossing you is the Six of Swords. You feel like you've been tested in many different areas and maybe even tested by somebody who's close to you at this time because the Lovers card has shown up there. It is your Foundation card. You are someone who is a great friend to others, but you may have noticed some of your relationships have been evolving recently. Perhaps you've been outgrowing someone or you felt a distance between you and somebody. Now we have the Temperance card, which can indicate give it time, but I feel like there is this sense of purpose that you are connecting to at this moment, and you've been very patient with this person, but it can be that there is a duality here that is coming out as people, you know, start to reach for something different in life. We can start to outgrow people, situations, and that can be challenging. But I feel you are aware that perhaps at this time it is something that needs to occur so that you can redefine yourself, or they can, and can you find a way back towards each other at some point? There is a possibility, especially when you have the Temperance energy, but we've got the Fool card there for you. We've got the Five of Swords. Yeah, so you feel a little bit tested right now, and this can be in different areas of your life. It can be with something that you are wanting to do and you would love to do, but perhaps it's not moving forward. You're feeling a bit stuck in that. Or it can also indicate that some of you are feeling a little bit stuck in love. If you feel like, you know, you've wanted a high level commitment and it's not come on in for you. It's been a bit of a challenge, but, you know, the Fool card can initiate a new start there for you, to be a little bit more curious, get yourself out there. But what I see a lot of you doing right now is kind of trying to look at yourself and redefine yourself in some way and connect to more fun, more opportunities to rewild, as it were. But let's get all of your cards before I move forward on that. We got the Six of Wands there, allowing yourself to be seen, getting out there, doing fun things. Yes, we have the Queen of Cups. I love this particular Queen of Cups because, as you can see, there's a big old window there. So you are in a period of reflection, soul searching, but also looking at challenge. you know, window pane, for example. It can be that you are looking at things that have hurt you, people that have hurt you at this time, a period of nostalgia, perhaps, and you're just sorting all through the stuff because you're healing. You've got the energy right there. So I feel like you're trying to be patient with yourself. You know, you tend to put a lot of pressure on yourself because you care so much about everything that you do and everyone who gets a place in your life. And, you know, I feel like you're learning to not be detached. I want you to be aware of that. You're still a very feeling person, but you're learning to disconnect when it's healthy to do so, and also learning not to be an overgiver or overstretch yourself. You know, over caring can also hurt a lot as well. So I feel a lot of you with this Lover's energy as your foundation card, it can be that you care so much about all the things that you connect to. You know, your hopes, your dreams, your passions, the people in your family or your soul tribe. And, you know, you must, of course, still care about those things, but acknowledge there needs to be balance because we have that temperance energy there as well. You need to carve out a little bit more time for you, perhaps, is something that's coming out there as well. But this is a starting position, and this indicates choices, options, and, you know, you connecting to things that you love. Doesn't have to be people. It says here choices, union, and love. Now, this is a reading all about you, okay? So this can be the union you have with yourself at this time. Some of you are trying to test yourself. You're trying to simplify your life because, of course, we have the Six of Swords energy here as a crossing card. So it can be that you're trying to, you know, move past a challenging period in your life, but you feel like you're not quite past it because it is in the crossing position. You feel tested to the max. You may feel there's been some stagnancy in your life. Perhaps some of you feel it's been really hard to move on from something, but the Lover's card indicates there's moments where you can fully, you know, detach from this or move on, and then moments where you're haunted by the past. But I feel there's this energy, and there is a duality here. A lot of you are redefining your life mission or your sense of purpose, but also I feel there's a little bit of an inner battle going on here with you. And now this may not resonate with all of you. I'm just seeing like a shadow in the water. Now, this normally means you feel a shadow of yourself. You may feel that life has got really stale or dull or boring, or that, I mean, you're still very busy. You are doing a lot right now. You're accomplishing a lot, achieving a lot right now, and it may not feel like it, but you've been going through a lot to get there, and you're trying to make it work. So it can indicate that in terms of fun, because this is the potential card, it's the thing that you feel like you don't quite have right now because it is something that is not on the earthly plane position. The earthly plane position right now is temperance, patience, focusing on your sense of purpose, trying to find balance, you know, really connecting to things that align with you at this moment in time. And you may feel that, you know, there's a lot of responsibility or there is a lot of heaviness going on right now. And you may be, of course, healing psychologically or even physically there. This is a card of recovery sometimes. It's about rejuvenating. And if you feel like a shadow of yourself or you feel something in you has changed and now you're trying to navigate your way through these changes, you know, some of these things that you used to love doing or places you used to love frequenting, it can feel different now because you're evolving and you're learning to be done with some things, simplify your life, quieten the noise, for example, and you're really kind of gathering strength to connect more to the things that you love. But you may feel that, you know, a new start is something you aspire to achieve, or for some of you, I mean, the Fool card is to be playful. It is to be fun, curious. You may feel as we mature and we experience life interactions with others, our hopes, our dreams, our goals, sometimes we have setbacks, disappointments. And for some of you, I mean, I didn't choose the cards, my beautiful Leo, and I wish you didn't get these cards, but it is reflective of perhaps something that someone's going through right now. You have a lot of fives, okay? You've got the Five of Swords, which is challenge, of course. It is an energy of a lot on your mind. You're mentally burnt out. There's so much going on. Some of you may have even been in fight or flight mode or in survival mode when you get a Five of Swords there. And this could be a product of everything that humanity has gone through over the last couple of years. You know, the world has always been a little bit crazy, but, you know, it really has amplified over the years. And you're trying to find yourself in all of this. And it just feels like life has changed so, like, immeasurably. I want to say. And, you know, you even have a Five of Wands there. So it can be that, you know, you're battling on through something. There's a lot of differences right now. People are different. Friends are different. People are aligning right now with their sense of life philosophy, belief system, because that's what the Temperance can connect to as well. And you may feel that things are shifting and changing, and you're looking at your options. You know, do you go in a separate direction? Do you foster a relationship or an environment that you used to love and cling on to it? Or do you finally accept that perhaps this is something that is done for you? So, and I'm saying that because the Six of Swords is to move on from something or feel like you need to detach from something, but it's not quite there yet. Now, I just saw 1111. Okay, and this can be something that you felt was a soul mission, soul path, a calling, or a person or an environment that you feel like you're outgrowing right now. And it's really tough. You feel tested in all of this, but you will find peace in this. Six of Swords indicates that you are in a changeable period, a transition towards something greater. But also if you've been going through a very testing time, because this card indicates you feel like you're not there yet, but it is something that you will move through, and you will pass that test, or you will overcome or conquer something within yourself in order to move on to calmer waters. I mean, for some of you, the Fool card, it can indicate that you are reaching for a new life, a new environment, relocation, new job, new kind of like you, as it were. And it can be that you are kind of moving through these changes and you are kind of wanting to move forward, but it feels like you're in that period, that process where you're not quite there yet, but you're in the middle of the gear shift in life, as it were. You're choosing new options, or you know, you're choosing to simplify your life, because the Six of Swords is an indication that you want things to just be calm. You want to kind of like quieten the noise or protect your inner peace in some way. And it says here, transition, leaving behind, moving on. And you will move on from any troubling times, and there will be this ultimate peace. There will be an alignment with a brighter future. That's literally what energy indicates. It's a period of healing, of rebirth, of being inspired, that spark returning. So if a lot of you are exhausted and just feeling overwhelmed with the way that the world is right now, it normally means that you're kind of breaking apart something that you once knew in order to put it all back together in the way that you choose, if that makes sense, because you have that choice there. Now, of course, we have that Temperance energy. I feel like you're patiently moving through these changes, trying to adapt, be flexible, and, you know, blend all of your energies in order to simplify, okay? Now, if you know the traditional Rider-Waite Tarot, there's a figure on the Temperance card, of course, and they have those two cups. So it can be trying to find the balance, but also it can be an energy of spiritual evaluation for some of you. I mean, the figure is literally dipping their toe in the water and has one foot on land. So this can be that you need to trial new things to keep life fresh, or trial new environments, new people, new groups, new activities that just keep things like on an even keel, or keep your energy flowing. Because if you're doing something day to day that has become like Groundhog Day, it's a habit or routine, that can stifle your energy. This is a card to get back in the flow there for you. And I feel the Fool card is representative of trialing something new or having a fresh new start somewhere. And also engaging your inner child, that playful side. As we mature, you know, life gets serious. We have to pay bills. We have to stay on top of things. We become aware of the world and its chaos and how we fit into all that, how it affects us, how it affects our friendships and the world around us. And we need to kind of like refocus, I feel, because sometimes there's so many layers to life. Zooming out and seeing the world in all its chaos can really, you know, feel very heavy. And whilst we all strive to do something about it in our own way, raise our vibrations or put ourselves in positions to help or do charitable work or just be there to lend, you know, a shoulder to cry on, you know, whatever level it is, it can be that sometimes we need to refocus or zoom in to our sense of purpose in all of that. So you're finding your way through a very challenging time, and you are going to find this balance. It says here, middle path, patience, and finding meaning. Now, really interesting. I wish I'd said it before I started your reading. And I wished it was like, well, maybe I don't, but basically I was taking a moment to pause. I do a meditation before I start all of your readings, okay, to tap into the energy. And sometimes, you know, I'm having a conversation with my guides about this, and actually we were dissecting the word meaning. I kid you not, I wish it was recorded, but because I like my private time, of course, I don't like all this surveillance, you know, going on. I'm an old soul. I'm not very good with technology, but, you know, I was dissecting the word meaning, okay? Because I feel a lot of you, and I feel this is the collective in general, really being precise with the words that you use. And perhaps it's because I have a Leo moon that I'm very connected to your energy. But dissecting the word meaning, my guides gave me something that really kind of like blew my mind. And I'm going to share it with you because it literally has the word meaning on this card. And basically, when we look at the words that we use, they have double meaning. Okay, so meaning, of course, it's to search for purpose. So why not use the word purpose rather than sense of meaning? And, you know, to mean something is to intend something. So we could use the word to intend. When we think about mean, the root word of it is something that can also mean that we are mean, as in horrible or, you know, not very nice. But also my guides gave me something else. And I thought, oh my gosh, this is something that, you know, really made me rethink the word. And if you think about a calculation, the sum of something, where someone wants to find the mean of it, that's the average of the sum or the equation. And my guide said, you're certainly not average. And this is something that you must think about yourself. You're certainly not average. You're here to come to this lifetime to live a life that is full, enriched. Okay, so whilst a lot of you are searching for that word, okay, it can also be that you're aware that either you have a soul mission or that you are becoming and you are putting life back together in a way that empowers you at this time. And you certainly did not come here to be average, okay? And there's nothing wrong with being average, of course. To simplify your life is not being average. So I feel there's something in that where we must separate the two and realize that, you know, simplifying life, it's not boring, it's not average. It's actually, you know, taking back a power to live a life in a more connective way with our surroundings, as in nature, or our own vibrations, because we've built such a loud world where, you know, we get pings on our cell phone, there's emails, there's reels, there's news, there's everything happening. We have access to so much, and yet we feel so disconnected. So it can be that you're simplifying in order to come back to the very vibration of you. And I feel it's about you looking at your options in moments of quiet time, what you reach for. Does it inspire you, what you reach for, or does it tear you down and give you, you know, fear? Does it make you feel like you're in fight or flight mode? Does it make you feel like you're in survival mode? There's a lot of clickbait out there, for example. So I feel right now you're looking at your sense of purpose. I feel like you're looking at the things that you connect to. Because, of course, the Lover's card is investment in connections, relationships with things or people or surroundings. And I feel you're questioning it all right now in order to simplify your life in some way, but still live a life of passion, excitement. And we have the Ace of Cups. It's in the resistance position. Now, some of you, this can be that you've made a declaration to self to really, you know, listen to your body, to really, you know, replenish your cup of love for self. Love yourself unconditionally, because when you build a relationship with yourself first, then you can actually offer the whole of yourself to others as well. And you may have been giving a lot of yourself to other people, but not replenishing your own cup, and also recognizing that there hasn't been reciprocity or balance. And that's why you are readdressing the balance there with this Temperance energy. Now, I feel this card can be that there's something new bubbling up within you, okay? Because it literally says here, new feelings, spirituality, and intuition. A lot of you, life has become a little bit more quiet in order to hear your heart and connect to your, you know, sense of wonder, because we have the Fool card there, curiosity, to reignite that wildness, that spark within you, but also foster a relationship with your higher self and develop your intuition. Your intuition may have become larger over the last couple of years, and you're trying to make sense of it all right now, the messages and downloads that you're getting there. But also this can be, as you can see a dove there, you're trying to find more peace in your life. But also I feel there is this energy that you've promised yourself. You want to do more things that you love, and you want to start new things. But also I feel, of course, some of you may feel, because this is, in the past position. You may feel life was less challenging in the past in some way, and you may have felt it was easier to romance your life or see the positive because there's so much overwhelmingly negative energy that we are bombarded with every single day. I feel like you are someone who is strong enough to overcome that and to reach for possibilities and be super positive, even though you are aware that there's challenge and you're going through it right now, but you are going to come out the other side and it is going to be really positive and you are aligning with a brighter future. One where you're healing, where you have clarity, when you know what you want. I mean, when I look at the cards, the Lover's card is choice, okay? And then in the near future, you've got the Five of Swords, which can indicate that you have a lot on your mind and you're trying to sort through the noise or the fears or the doubts in order to make that choice. And the clarity and making the right decision that opens up portals and opportunities to you like never before, where you feel completely aligned with what it is that you desire, because this is a wish card, okay? So I feel like you're on course to make a decision and you're leaving the familiar in order to embrace the extraordinary at this time. Now, some of you may have had, some issues or problems in love, may have been let down, or perhaps love has not visited your life right now, but there is a new start upon you, and I feel, there is an opportunity here to fall in love. The Queen of Cups is to be ready to fall in love. So if you're healing in order to accept a healthy love into your life, then I feel like you shall get your wish. You have to go through it and really dissect some of those challenging emotions in order to be free of them. And we heal not to be strong enough to accept more inconsistency from people or be let down or, be traumatized in toxic relationships. We heal in order to accept and believe that there are fun relationships, lighthearted, playful relationships, people who invest in us, that you don't have to just always show up for yourself, that people will show up there for you as well, to align with happiness. Sometimes when we go through traumatic experiences, we don't trust happiness because it doesn't last long, or it normally means there is a flip on the other side of the coin where something goes wrong. So I feel a lot of you are learning to heal and trust that happier times are available to you, that they are long lasting, not fleeting, okay? Now, of course, the Fool card energy here is all about beginnings, but also it is a card of innocence, of curiosity, and it's in your potential position. So you're curious about yourself and how you move through these challenges. And I feel a lot of you should be really proud of yourself that you're overcoming a lot right now. It says here wonder and also foolishness. Now, foolishness can be that you may be looking at situations from your past where you rushed into something, or you noticed a red flag or saw the signs, and you may have not trusted your intuition. You may have overrode that little whisper from your heart. So it's like you're returning to your higher self in order to say, you know what, I didn't listen. And I learned a lesson. And it's okay. You were meant to learn that lesson in order to, be stronger and trust your intuition going forward. So, this is not going to resonate with all of you, but some of you may be looking back on your choices and feel that in that moment you desired a certain path and maybe it didn't work for you, or maybe it wasn't right for you, or whether it was a person or a situation, but you should own it as an experience, because it informed who you are and it shaped who you are. And those experiences are there to give us, an understanding as how we evolve, how we deal with something. We came to this lifetime kind of like ordering a certain experience. Now, I have trouble coming to terms with that myself, but that's what my guides gave me. I've been through some very challenging experiences, and I question a lot of those experiences because they were very damaging and, there was a lot going on. But my guide said, and now you have an understanding. So you can offer a platform to discuss these things from a certain viewpoint. I will never understand your personal journey as to what you're going through, but I can have empathy for it. So it can be that, these experiences are there so you can either pass on your knowledge of an experience or your empathy in order to build relationships or foster a conversation where there can be understanding. So that's a challenging thing to accept, but perhaps something that you are trying to move through at this moment in time. But also I feel a lot of you are trying to connect to your inner child and acknowledge that it's safe enough for you to have fun, be your wonderful self, bring out that playful side of you. And of course, I feel there is this newness about you where you're on this new journey and you're holding yourself to higher standards. And I feel like you're just not willing to accept certain things in your life anymore. You're done with so much. You're deciding, actually, I'm disconnecting. There's a brand new me. I'm not going to just put up with things. So I feel you're perhaps in the transition period because the Five of Swords is in your near future position. And this can be that you are either overcoming self-sabotaging cycles of repeat, if you feel like you've been going through that, or you're distancing yourself from people who tend to self-sabotage. You know, the Five of Swords is an energy of speaking your truth and sometimes acknowledging that perhaps you're going to be seen as the bad person in a person's life, right? When you've got to give someone the truth of a situation, you can diplomatically deliver it so it doesn't hurt them and break their confidence. But also, if you're delivering a truth that the other person perhaps doesn't want to hear, but it is your perception of the truth, calling it out is always going to make you seem like you're the bad person, for example. And if you're going through this experience, because not all of you are going through this, but if you've given someone some advice or let them know of their choices right now, and you gave them a very measured but honest account of what you believe is your viewpoint or what is happening right now, you gave with love because the Ace of Cups is there, but of course it will have been received in a negative fashion because maybe it's something that they were not willing to hear right now. Now this could be someone that you have a relationship with or that is really close to you, a friend or, you know, someone that you respect there. They will come around in time and they will foster healing in a relationship because they needed to sit with that information. It was a truth. And you called it, and they're going to come back to you and say, yeah, you were right. They didn't want to hear it at the time, and I feel like they couldn't hear it at the time. But they will sit with that, and there will be, you know, an olive branch offered in the future regarding this. And you're not going to sit there and say, I told you so. You're going to have a lot of empathy and say, I'm here for you no matter what. But I have to give you the truth of the situation, and I'll always call it out. I'll always be honest. And I feel like you're that sort of person. So if you're dealing with something like that in your life right now, you're going to have a person who comes back and says, I'm sorry I didn't listen to you, but you were right. And you will build a stronger relationship from there, okay? Now, Five of Swords, this is your reading. It's not about someone else, but the Five of Swords can indicate, yes, you're still going to be having something on your mind. Five of Swords can be worry. It can be that you're in fight or flight mode, and you may be looking at that right now. I feel that you're safe, you're guided, you're protected, and yes, there's a lot of changes going on in the world, and maybe even personally for you right now. For some of you, these can be just thoughts. You know, fear is false evidence appearing real. Sometimes what we can envisage in our mind as a catastrophe or, you know, catastrophizing a situation as the worst case scenario, we can actually, you know, really do damage to our nervous system. We can really kind of deplete our energy. If there's something you can do about a situation in this moment that you're worried about, set changes in motion. But if there is something you cannot do in this moment, regarding something you're worried about, then relax. What is meant to be will be. And I can see that things are going to work out in your favor. It's going to work out better than you imagined. There is a path towards either healing or resolving the situation or finding clarity on a situation and being protected by your guides. A portal of opportunity is opening for you to align with the best scenario for you and your highest good, okay? Now, the Five of Wands is an energy of conflict, maybe even the inner battle, competition with yourself, you know, trying to be better than you were yesterday. But also it can be that, you know, there's a lot of challenge right now, a lot of pressure to show up, and you're doing a great job. You're holding it all together. And I want you to be aware that you should be super proud of yourself. I certainly know that your guides and people who are in your ancestry, who have walked before you, they walk beside you. A long, proud line to say, I'm with Leo. And I'm supporting the journey, and I'm there for you. And they're so proud of all that you have accomplished so far. Some of you have come here to, you know, break through a generational cycle. Generational cycles that perhaps other generations, you know, They tried, but they couldn't quite make it. But you've done it. The Fool card is there to indicate a new start or fresh new energy, fresh new karma. And it was a challenge. And I feel this card indicates that, yes, you have been going through something, but you are strong enough to move through this. I mean, the Five of Wands can be that you've walked through fire when it comes to some sort of test in your life right now, but you are stronger for it. Also, if you're going through some challenges with a person or someone close to you, this could be your partner, for example, if you're in a high-level commitment, because some of you with that Ace of Cups, you've fallen in love with somebody, and perhaps there's challenge with this person right now. This is about honoring each other's differences in order to find the middle ground, because we have that temperance energy there, and that can foster understanding and healing when we try to really listen and understand from each other's viewpoint. Whoever you're with, I see that there is a lot of love there. I feel both of you can heal this and resolve this. But both of you need to have empathy for each other's struggle or viewpoint. And sometimes that's really hard to see another person's viewpoint and kind of acknowledge it, understand it, but not really agree with it. We can live like that. We can say, okay, I understand. That's not what I believe. That's not my view or my perception. But at the same time, I understand this is how you're feeling. And we can find a common ground in that. And that will be very helpful for a relationship moving forward. Also, this can be with a friendship or, anybody who you feel has a difference of opinion. Five of Wands can be, people having their 2 cents and everyone getting involved in something and really like arguing about it or having conflicting views about it. But it is there that we honor each other's kind of viewpoint, and it may not be something we agree with, but we can acknowledge that everyone is unique, everyone is different. And as long as we're not hurting anyone, then we must seek to understand. Okay, so that's something that perhaps some of you are dealing with in your personal relationships at this time, or maybe even the world at large right now. There's a lot of conflict there. But this card can also be an energy of like you trying to get something together in your life and having different components or compartments that you're prioritizing at this time. You're holding it all together, and it's a lot. On the traditional Rider-Waite Tarot, there are 5 people, okay, that, all have a wand and they're trying to create a star, right? And it feels like it's hard. It feels like just when you think you know where you're at, suddenly there's a setback, suddenly there's a curveball or a plot twist, but it is all coming together. Those 5 figures are making it work. They're trying to create the star, and you have the outcome, which is whatever it is you're trying to do right now, it will all come together. You're in the gear shift. Find that balance, that flexibility, honor your sense of purpose, and, acknowledge that sometimes we go through a bit of an inner battle or a questioning period to reaffirm our life philosophy or where we feel we are right now and really seek to understand. A lot of you may have felt that for some time you've been on autopilot or, as I said, in fight or flight mode, and now you're redefining. Now you are, as it were, kind of like reaffirming. It's like you have built a foundation and you're like, okay, I need to get busy doing or action oriented regarding something, especially if you felt like you were in freeze frame for some of you in some experience in your life, or you just felt like things have been shedding or drifting or, breaking away. It is here that it all comes back together in a form that you choose, okay? So circumstances outside of yourself, 6 of Wands, is an energy of success, conquering. I mean, I love that the 5 of Wands is there and then the 6 of Wands pops out. It highlights you're going to conquer this, you're going to move through this, but also it can be that, this is passing a test. This is a card of like, acknowledging that, something was hard won, but you did it and you should be proud of yourself. People acknowledge you for how far you've come, for what you've been through. But also some of you could literally be taking a test at this time, and it's something that you love doing. It's been hard won. Just because you love it doesn't mean it's easy. Often the things that we love doing or want to achieve are the hardest things of all because we're so invested. We care so much. That's what I was saying. Sometimes we care so much or even too much, and we put a lot of pressure on ourselves, or we just feel like it's super important, so we go that extra mile and we give more of ourselves to the point where we're depleted or exhausted. We must find the balance in it all. Doesn't mean you care any less. You just need to find the balance to honor your health and your safety as you move through your life. Now, of course, the Fool card, whatever this test is, if it's an actual test, like a driving test or a qualification, certification, or even if it is you reaching the next level of your spiritual journey, you're passing it, okay? And congratulations if that's you. It says here, victory, success, public reward. So if some of you want to be in the public eye, this could be that, you're looking at your options regarding being in the public eye as to whether you want to be seen, which means, on the world stage, you lose your sense of privacy. You'll have to fight for that, for example. So these can be things that you are grappling with right now if you're in a period where you're about to launch yourself into the public arena or do something that is monumentally transformative for the world. I'm not sure who's listening right now, but this is coming through for a reason. It can be that you're making a difference, and it's a challenge, but you are someone who is going to be seen in all your glory as being a transformative, soul on this journey. And that can be in many different forms. You could be stepping up to heal people or help people locally or globally for some of you. But the Six of Wands is you overcoming something and feeling great about yourself. A lot of you, this could be how you feel about yourself, the inner battle, conquering any fear or conquering feelings of low self-worth or how you see yourself. Body dysmorphia for some of you. This can be that, you're actually someone who is very attractive, both inside and out, and you may have grappled with how you look at yourself. It can be that finally you're seeing yourself in all your glory and acknowledging that you are Leo right now. You can't be Leo in the past. You will be Leo in the future, and you certainly cannot be anybody else. Enjoy who you are and foster that love for self and love yourself in all your glory. Now, the Queen of Cups is a card of empathy, of course. That's why it's all tied up together in this. And this is a hope and a fear. So for some of you, this is a hope and a fear regarding love and being lovable. You are so lovable. And I would say, get yourself out there, shine your light, be you in all your glory and be seen, because you will be loved, not just by yourself, but by someone who is aligning with you as a soulmate right now in your energy. You're calling in your soulmate. But the Queen of Cups can also indicate that you need to be more compassionate with yourself because you put extra pressure on yourself. Those two fives tells me that you're nearly there on something, but you tend to put extra pressure on yourself. What is meant for you will never pass you by. Remember, breathe. You're aligning right now with the best outcome for your situation, and things are going to go your way, okay? It says here, compassion, calm, and comfort. A lot of you are trying to find peace of mind or calmness, simplicity, as I said there, and you will find it. Now, also, this card is in the resistance position when you get it in this position, so it can be that sometimes your emotions, they're overwhelming. Okay, and it can be that you're trying to find the balance in that. And, if you've been feeling extra anxious right now about certain things, this is about calmly, like having that inner conversation and looking at intrusive thoughts and recognizing that they're just intrusive thoughts and they're there to try and tear you down. But actually, the universe wants to build you up. And I feel like you are tapping into that energy right now where you're building yourself up there, okay? And also for some of you, there may be some insecurities there that you're looking at this time, but you will conquer those insecurities and you're deepening your sense of self-worth, okay? Especially as you mature, sometimes you may feel like you go unnoticed or that you're not seen or that you're kind of like invisible. As we get older, you may feel that, or you may feel a little bit left out in the cold on something right now, but you are going to connect to your soul tribe. You are going to be seen. You are going to be appreciated, and you make a difference. Okay, that energy indicates shine your light, get yourself out there. You are someone who is also a natural healer because you have these two cards so close together. And you may have noticed that people come to you when they're going through turbulent times, tell you their secrets, and, are dependent on your energy, but don't let that drain you. Make sure you always replenish your cup, and reciprocity is the key, but indicates hope. calmness, trusting that joy is going to be made available to you. Also, trusting the process towards your goals and dreams, that you are going to reach them. You're aligned. But also, this is about seeing the beauty in all things. You know, sometimes when we realign our focus, we see more of that. So if you see like lots of clickbait online of like, the world is ending in like 30 seconds, but you need to click this right now and see why. You know, you're going to see more of that. Have you ever noticed, especially with algorithms, certain things you talk about or click, you'll see more of that, right? But if you start to talk about like kittens and flowers and, you know, spending time in nature, you're going to see more of that. So I would say, you know, look at what you're connecting to, because the Lover's card is a connection card, okay? And you'll see more of that. So I feel a lot of you are trying to readdress a balance there. But it says here, joy, success, and celebration. So if you're going through something, challenging yourself, or you've been going through an actual challenge, you're going to be so proud of yourself. You're aligning with the best outcome. There is success here, and you will celebrate. You're protected and directed at this time. So I'm just going to go and get some final cards. This was a very deep reading. You know, sometimes I enter these readings and I'm like, I don't know where this is going to go, because my guides are going to offer, you know, guidance with the energy, the cards, and how they align. And then suddenly I'm like, oh my gosh, it's all connected. It's all connected. Right down to the conversation I had regarding the word meaning. Okay, so we have 0909. That's a card of hope and renewal, and that's literally what it is all about. Okay, now hope there, it says 0909. You may actually see that number a lot in the next coming weeks or months. Your angels assure you that the light is at the end of the tunnel and everything will work out for the best. I mean, that's exactly what I just said in your reading. It says what you are going through will bring you closer to your purpose. Let go of your worries and concerns, surrender your need for control, and trust the process every step of the way. I'm loving that. As you can see, there's mountains there, but the sun is shining. I feel a path is being made clear for you after a long period of time. You've been waiting for this moment, this breakthrough, okay? Also, we have, I just heard hope in your heart. Hope in your heart, okay? That just came through, so I just had to mention that. This could be a quote or something you'll see, or maybe it's an ornament or something that has that written on it, so just be mindful of that. We've also got 5555 there. Renewal, okay? And it says here, your life is entering a phase of expansion and renewal, and it is bringing greater alignment on your journey. Shed the shackles that have held you back. If you feel the urge to make a change, trust that this is a sign from the universe guiding you towards that path that is meant for you. The Fool card is the beginning of a path, okay? And of course, the Lover's card is about trust. It is about choice. It is about alignment with your commitments. So I feel like you're completely aligned. I will leave that there. I'm quite excited for you, my beautiful Leo, and I hope something resonates. Also, if you'd like to be with a chance to win a free personal reading from me, all you have to do is put an emoji of a candle in the comments box below. And if you don't have access to an emoji, just write the word candle, and my guides will draw me to one subscriber to win a free personal reading from me, and I'll announce the winner at the end of September. My guides gave me a candle to represent this month's competition because the world needs more light, more than ever before. We all know it, we all feel it. So, you know, if you have a moment to safely light your own candle, that would be amazing. Also, play your favorite song, raise your vibrations. That would be amazing too. But just being the wonderful you and shining your light, be that beacon of hope and love and commitment to, you know, making changes in your life. And that is enough, because we are all vibration, and anything that is energetic inside of ourselves, it emanates outwards, okay? And it really does change and make a difference. So I'll leave it there, my beautiful Leo. Thank you so much, and love and light.